So we thought it would be a lot of fun to give you a behind the scenes look at Brandmerry HQ. As many of you might know, we have been traveling a lot. We lived in an RV for 2 years. I started my business in our old home, and just last year in 2021, we spent months overseas. So I've run my business from a lot of different places, and this is my favorite so far. It brings me back to being grounded. It provides me an opportunity to surround myself with all my favorite things. So let's have a look. This is it. This is the whole shebang. So right now my family and I are living in a 2-bedroom apartment back in our hometown. It's giving us a fantastic place to keep all of our stuff, have my office, and to travel from. So I'm having a really fun time making this my own space and getting into a routine. But I get a lot of questions about how I structure my day to day, what I'm using in my business, and what I'm surrounding myself with. So this is a behind the scenes look at all of those things. Let's start over here. So, hi Aurora. This is our pooch Aurora. She hates being on camera, so she's gonna move. But most of the day she's laying right here. And she's constantly next to me, whether I'm on the Peloton or working. She's my little companion. All right, this right here is just my wall of amazingness. So this calendar, I finally got a chance to implement this when we moved into the apartment, because traveling, it was really hard in the RV to do this, or, backpacking, going from different place to different place in an Airbnb. Really hard to carry these big old calendars. But when we are in the apartment, I love it. So this allows me to have a big bird's eye view on the month ahead. You'll notice that I don't schedule every little thing, but we have any important workshops that we're doing, launches that are happening, the content that we're creating for YouTube and for the blog. And it's so amazing for me to reference that. So typically I like to plan 6 months at a time in my business in terms of, big launches and things like that, 90 days ahead for content creation. And maybe if you've seen a previous video, I used to have 6 months up on the wall at a time. But now I have 3 because we needed to do some rearranging because I now share my space with my son. So my son recently got a new bed, a big boy bed, now that he turned 6. And so we made this awesome space for him and rearranged my office. So for all of my mamas out there, I totally get having to coincide with your family. And I'm telling you, I actually kind of love it. It also sparked me to really think about the things that I absolutely needed in this space and got rid of all the excess stuff. But one of the things that we moved, and of course this is not sponsored, although if they want to, I'm here for it, my Peloton. Many of you who follow me on Instagram know how much I value and prioritize working out. And I like to alternate between using my bike and doing yoga. So I recently released a video that showed my morning routine where I talked a little bit more about, my need to move my body every single morning. And this baby belongs in the office. I love it so much. So we've got the good old Peloton, my fancy shoes, and then that kind of brings me to the other main staple of my office and my space, which are my plant babies. So not only do I now get my human baby next to me, but I have all my plant babies. So let's take a look at these beautiful, beautiful creatures, shall we? This is Luna. Yes, my plants have names. No, they don't all have names. But if you have ideas for some of the nameless, I'm here for it. Leave them in the comments below. So this is Luna. She's my big baby. We also have this money tree over here, which, if you didn't know, I used to actually kill every plant I brought into the house. I was very good with plants outside, but not so much with plants indoors. But this was the first one I kept alive, and so I have a very, very special place in my heart for it, but it doesn't have a name. It's too hard to name the first one. Anyways, let's take a look at the other ones. This is Anna. She is a snake plant. And one of my favorite. She's so majestic. This is one of our favorite things about our apartment is the lighting in here is so great. And I couldn't have all of these plants when we were traveling full time, so it's nice to now have this sanctuary for them. This is Miles, new baby who doesn't have a name. Let us know in the comments. And also baby that doesn't have a name. So we recently rearranged everything to kind of make space for the bed and my office, and I brought a lot of new plants in here. So again, let me know in the comments if you've got ideas for naming these gems. I've always been a firm believer in surrounding, your home or your space with things that inspire you. And when we moved into the RV, we had to think really, really hard about the things that we wanted to keep. And so I'm really intentional with the things that I bring in my space to make sure that they make me feel really, really good. My plants are obviously one piece of that puzzle. But then I also love to surround myself with crystals. I've got candles. I've got some of my favorite books. If you have listened to any podcast episode, oh my gosh, Atomic Habits, read it, just read it. Also, we've got tons of books from Brene Brown. So I have additional books down here. So just anytime I want to reference or I want to ground myself with any of these amazing books, I have them. Plus, I'm all about surrounding myself with the energy of people that I believe are incredibly successful in life and business. So just having their books here, I think, does that. Then I also am a big, big fan of crystals. And so my husband made me this awesome box a couple years ago. I think it was like one of the first things that he kind of built for me. And so I just have crystals that I've collected over the years. And then I have a few right here on my desk as well that I believe crystals are such a great grounding practice. And I like having them there. One of the things that we teach in the academy is around having some sort of grounding tool when you're constantly working with clients and things like that. And since I can't constantly just stick my hands in the dirt, which is kind of my ultimate way to ground myself, I'll sometimes just pick up a crystal and hold it in my hands, which just kind of reminds me to just recenter and realign, which I love. All right, let's get into some of the awesome tools that I'm using on a regular basis. So I got this new chair, y'all. I'm gonna have a sweet little moment to talk about the importance of the chair that you are sitting in and your desk height. Because last year, my shoulders were killing me and I was refusing to believe that it was my Peloton. And it turns out it wasn't my Peloton, it was my desk. We ended up lowering my desk and getting a better chair. And so if you are sitting on a crappy chair right now, change it out. Go get a new chair because it makes such a difference for how you kind of go about your day. I use a Google Pixelbook, which I switched from a Mac to a Pixelbook 2 years ago because I wanted something a little bit more lightweight. Everything that I do is on Google and I love it. So that's what I use in my business. Obviously, again, I'm all about that good back support. And so I have a stand for my laptop, and then I also have a wireless keyboard and such that your girl got on Amazon. Recently, I got this very excessive dongle here that I really love. So one of the things that has been a pain in my butt has been the USB-C plugs on this Pixelbook and having all these other things that require USB. So I recently got that to plug in my wireless keyboard and my mouse as well as my microphone. So I do a lot of recording, and one of the things that I love to offer my clients in the academy and my one-on-one clients are video recordings, walkthroughs of their copy, their website, all of that. And I just found that my little headset was just not working. The audio was really crappy for all the videos I was doing. So we ended up adding my Blue Yeti, which is the microphone that I use, to this awesome retractable arm so that anytime I need to record, I yell out to my family that I'm recording a quick video, pull it in, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I love just having this setup here so I'm not constantly changing things out, especially the things that I use quite frequently. We have what I would compare to a junk drawer bucket here, which has all my Post-its and random crap in it. And what else? What else do we have here? Speaking of crystals, we've got a giant rock salt lamp. Nothing like a good rock salt lamp that also serves as a nightlight for my son. And recently I got a remarkable, because if you would have seen this desk last year, there were Post-its everywhere. It was overwhelming. And I didn't want to keep throwing away paper and wasting paper. So again, not sponsored, but I finally got a remarkable and I love it. So I keep my daily tasks in here, can cross them off, all that jazz. And then if you know anything about my behind the scenes of the business, you know that I use ClickUp to organize all of the upcoming, deadlines and things that we're working on. But this is kind of my central hub for ideas and things that I need to do. And I gotta give a special shout out to my husband who painted this beautiful piece for me at the beginning of the year. Because like I said, I'm all about surrounding myself with things that inspire me. And I really encourage you to do the same thing, no matter what size space you have. Obviously, this is the most intentional office space I have had in my business. I've also run my business out of an RV, which was a little tiny desk, but I still was super intentional with what I surrounded myself with and what I used to grow my business. So I really, really, really encourage you to take a look at your space and incorporate things that truly inspire you, because I think it plays a big, big role. One last thing I want to share with you before I peace out is this magical thing right here. So I'm recording reels right now and have been recording and doing a couple of lives in my business, and so that's why this is out. It's normally tucked away in the closet, but I love this thing. I got it on Amazon. We'll link it below. It is obviously a tripod, but it also has a ring light, which is really sweet. So people ask me a lot, like, what am I using to record quick videos? My cell phone and this. My husband is holding our better camera, which is a Canon G7X, which we use for all of our YouTube videos. So there you go. There you have it. If you like this video and you want more behind the scenes of Brandmerry and ultimately my life, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, and we'll be back with more branding and marketing tips really, really soon.